Dad, there's a monster in my room.
I woke up to my son's voice. The clock read 2:04 a.m. Dim light, shadows on the walls, nightlight flickering. He was sitting up in bed, eyes wide. I went in, sat next to him. Then I saw it, on the pillow, something dark. A blotch, with two pale ovals, eyes. Faint cartoonish even, but staring straight at me. "It's just a stain," I said, touching the fabric. Dry, odorless. I smiled, but something tightened inside me. "See," I said, "just a pillowcase." He nodded. I flipped the pillow over and tucked him back in. He fell asleep fast. I stayed there a little longer, listening to the hum in my ears. I didn't want to admit it, but I saw the eyes too. In the morning, the stain was gone. The pillowcase looked brand new. My son left for a week-long preschool trip. We said our goodbyes, and I was alone in the house. I picked it up again. Just fabric. White, clean. But it felt wrong, like it didn't belong to us. I stood over the trash can, held the pillowcase above it, and then, something deep inside me whispered, "Throw it away, and it stays with you. Return it, and you're free." I folded it, slid it into a plastic bag, and drove straight to Sleep Mart. The store was dim and musty. I walked straight to bedding. There they were, identical pillowcases. White cotton, blurred red print, some with faint eyes. Hard to see, but once you did, you couldn't unsee them. The clerk glanced up, bored. "Odd batch. We think it's from China. Handmade. Chengdu or something. Got thrown into the shipment by mistake. Looks kinda creepy, huh?" He paused, looking at the display. "Funny thing, some people just come back and return them." I said nothing. Slid mine between two sealed packages. My hands were trembling, but a weight lifted off my chest. That evening I didn't go near my son's room, but I left the light on, left the door cracked open, not sure what I expected. 2:04 again, but no howling. Sirens, fire trucks, 4 of them, roaring down the street. I stood at the window and watched. There was a glow in the distance, flickers of flame. I went back to bed, and for the first time in days, I fell asleep easily. Not because I felt safe, but because I knew the evil was somewhere else. Nicholas, the overnight security guard at Sleep Mart, was sipping cheap coffee and fighting a yawn. Almost 2:30 a.m., quiet. He walked between the aisles, then stopped. A pillowcase lay in the middle of the floor, opened, as if it had slipped out, or crawled. He picked it up. Dry, but warm. Warmer than it should have been. There was a faint scent. Sweet. Cold. Like winter air in a dream. He went back to the office, dropped the pillowcase onto the chair carelessly, sat down, watched the monitors. 20 minutes went by. His eyes started to burn. He didn't even notice when he drifted off. He woke up to a touch. Something cold pressed against his chest. He opened his eyes. A figure stood in front of him. Tall, human shape. Its face, painted, like a cartoon. Black smear, 2 white eyes. One hand hovered in the air. The other was on him. He screamed, grabbed his gun, fired twice. One round hit a pipe. There was a hiss, then fire. The room went up. The figure vanished. He turned to run, and caught one last glimpse. The pillowcase on the chair collapsed inward, like it had just inhaled the ghost. 9 months later, the court dropped the charges. They blamed the fire on faulty equipment. News cameras caught Nicholas leaving the courthouse. Older now, gray hair tied back. One photo, taken from behind, captured the back of his neck. A small tattoo under his hairline. A blotch, with 2 little cartoon eyes. "Was it you?" a reporter asked. He looked at the camera, held the gaze, then said, "Maybe not, but I know who." He hadn't slept well since. Dreams were like someone else's memories. Narrow alleys, red lanterns, signs he couldn't read, a river, boats, stone bridges, Chengdu. He wrote the name down, tried to forget it every morning, but by evening, he'd feel it again. Something calling to him. He booked a flight. Not because he wanted to go, but because he knew. If he didn't go, it would come back.